The argument about working out used to be the whole idea of when best to work out would be whenever. The idea is just do something because something is always better than nothing. And there have been a lot of research.
Well, that's true though, isn't it?
It is. But now if you can narrow it down and someone said, well, if you've made the commitment to work out anyway, and you want to get the most from it in terms of health benefits, efficiencies, whatever, now there's a new study that says, well, I'll have Jill tell you, there is a better time to do it. So here you go. Jill Barker, Montreal Gazette fitness reporter on the line. Jill, thanks for being here. So look, as I said off the top, any workout is better than no workout, especially as you get older. It's important to remember that, you still have to do these things. They're good for you emotionally, physically, whatever. What's this new study saying?
Well, between 2 and 6 p.m. is when your body temperature peaks and that you have the potential to put in your best performance of the day. So if that's your goal, 2 to 6 p.m., and, you could put a little window, I think, on either side of that, is the best time to work out. That said, how many of us are able to really work out between 2 and 6 p.m.?
Not us, because we're on the radio doing a show from 2 to 6 p.m. So much for that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. Right. So, I love these studies, and I love this topic because, there's always the theory and then there's the practice. And I think most people have a time of day naturally where I think they feel they're at their best. And for me, it's actually not between 2 and 6, but it's not first thing in the morning and it's not late at night. So that I think that's something that you have to consider at all the time, not just when you're available, but also when you feel at your best.
Okay, so the feel at your best, though, is one of those things where, let's say you go to the gym at the same time every day or every other day, however often you train. Then suddenly when you're out of that time slot, you're not at your best anymore because you're so used to going at the same time every other day, right?
Yeah, yes and no. Sometimes you're going at a time where, you would prefer, I would prefer, but mid-morning is my time where I'm at my best, but it wasn't always available to me, so I had to work out at other times. But, given my druthers, I would be there, and every time I worked out starting around 10 o'clock, I felt like in my happy place. Everything kind of fell together. I think when you get up in the morning or you're going to work and you see those people working out like early in the morning, you go, oh God, no, that's not for me. Or late at night, God, that's not for me. I think you naturally have a place where you feel comfortable.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Look at it a bit differently. They try to kind of get all their natural body rhythms in sync with when the timing of exercise is best for them to train, because they don't have a choice when they compete often.
I noticed in this other study, just saw this the other day, suggesting as well, and again, you have to be careful between what we assume is going to work for everybody, suggesting that if you work up between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., that could actually have, not that you're working out for weight loss specifically, but if you were, that apparently might be the best time of day. What do you know about that?
Well, you get a greater calorie burn. Some studies say that you get a greater calorie burn if you work out before breakfast. The problem is there's a lot of the rest of the day where your diet can go wrong. And when you look at that better calorie burn, what does that mean? Is it 100 calories? Like a donut is 300. So you can easily, kind of go to the left or the right in terms of how much you're going to eat after the rest of the day. But early in the morning and also sometimes before you eat, appetite has an opportunity, like it gets depressed sometimes after you work out. So people are saying, hey, if you get the munchies at a certain time of day, maybe timing your exercise just before then might help, ward off that eating pattern.
I wonder, we're talking about for us, the 2 to 6 slot doesn't work, but maybe even just doing something active in that time, getting up, Aaron often does a few squats in the studio or whatever, doing a little walk around the office.
Natasha.
Because the idea is, you tell me, Joe, but I think any kind of activity energizes you, right? Which is why I suppose we're not supposed to exercise later in the day because it could affect your sleeping.
Yeah, I think there's part of that is for mood as well. I think for some people who have a job where it's very sedentary, going out in the middle of your workday, whenever that is, can re-energize you, so make that second half of your workday, so you're a little sharper at your desk. So, those are also another reason why to work out is to figure out when you've got those energy lapses and try to use exercise to, boost your mood and your energy.
So look, at the end of the day, what I said when we started is true. Better to do something than nothing all the time. And, if you pick a time, really, I would guess too, as I said before, if you are trying to develop a habit, if you will, of going to the gym, picking that one time, you'll always be available. That's half the battle.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think finding that time that works for you is really what you should go with. I think the rest is a bit minutiae, but, always worth considering and always worth talking about.
Jill, as always, I thank you. Appreciate you coming on with us.
My pleasure.
By the way, how do you know there's 300 calories in a donut? How did you know that?
I'm ignoring that
I'm
part.
curious. Like just off the top of her head, I know there's 300 calories in a donut. I just had one. I counted them. Jill, thank you.